Good morning, everyone. Now, I was just laying here thinking before I start my day. I was just thinking about what happened last night with the boat that got blown up. People don't know what I'm talking about. I'll get into it in a minute, but I was actually kind of awakened by a text message. A good friend of mine couldn't sleep. That's all right. I couldn't sleep either, really. Who he started texting me. We were just texting back and forth about life and things in general, and oh, stuff that friends talk about, text about, or whatever. And but I couldn't get this thought out of my mind that I saw the video yesterday of the boat getting blown up with, I guess they call it 11 terrorists or drug dealers or whatever in Venezuela. And I just couldn't get that thought out of my mind because I got an email from my friend John, and he titled it First Blood. And I started thinking about that. I read what he wrote. I started thinking about that. This is what came to my mind. With the times that we're living in and the things that are coming, I've said this before, but it's been quite a while, so I'm going to say it again. If you expect to receive mercy, you better show mercy or give mercy. Because don't expect to receive mercy if you're not willing to show it or give it. It's pretty much anything in life, I think, but some people would be like, USA, USA, and we're going to blow up those terrorists and blow up those drug dealers, and we're going to get rid of them, and we're, USA, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Well, me personally, I call it murder. Other people might want to call it, maybe they call it justice, maybe they call it their just desserts, maybe they call it, we're going to stop those drugs from coming in, and we're going to stop those terrorists from coming over, or whatever people want to say. I call it murder, personally, because I remember a time, you call it, interdiction, you call it, seizing vessels, you call it boarding ships in international waters, or whatever the case may be. But there was a time that, the Coast Guard, I guess the Navy in this case or whatever, would literally, board a ship, seize a ship, take people, I don't want to say hostage necessarily, but, take prisoners or whatever and interrogate people. I didn't say torture. I said interrogate, okay? There was a time that the law mattered. There was a time that righteousness mattered, that doing the right thing mattered, that, people say, well, we're unnecessarily putting sailors or Coast Guardmen or whatever, or law enforcement at risk. Granted, but you know what? That's what they signed up for. Believe it or not, that's what they signed up for. If they didn't know the risk, then you don't sign up. You don't take the oath or whatever people feel about oaths or whatever. The bottom line is people join the military, go into law enforcement or whatever, you take an oath. Whether people like it, don't like it, it is what it is, okay? That's what you signed up for. There's always risk. And if you're not willing to take the risk, if you're not willing to put your life on the line, possibly lose your life for the job, then don't do the job. Then don't sign up for the job. Don't sign the contract. Don't sign your name. Don't take the oath. Don't do anything, okay? It's part of the risk. But no, Nowadays, we just blow people out of the water like it's Battleship or something, you know. We just blow them out of the water. And you know what? You know, people say, yeah, that's what we do in this country. Yep, we kick butt and take names. USA, 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 right? Well, I could understand that to a certain extent if we had any kind of moral high ground. If there was any kind of righteousness, okay? If there was any kind of, decency in our government, in this dumpster fire regime, and the offices that people have, political offices and higher up offices, whatever, in the military or whatever, I could understand if we had the moral high ground. But like I said in videos past, people listen, don't listen, you do your own research, whatever. We have no moral high ground because we've been bringing drugs and terrorists into this country for years. It is the epitome of hypocrisy. We are the kings of the hypocrites, okay, of the world, all right? Because as much moral high ground as our government would claim to have, we have none, all right? We have been bringing in drugs and bringing in people that want to kill us for years. And yet the dumpster fire regime, all of these liars, all of these hypocrites will stand up there and talk about how wonderful and how great we are and how we're stopping this and stopping that, preventing this and preventing that, and doing all these wonderful and great things. And they are the king of the hypocrites. So, my suggestion for people, for what it's worth, if you expect to receive mercy in your life, if you want mercy, you better show mercy. Better show compassion. You better not jump on this bandwagon, that we're going to kick butt and take names and nobody's going to mess with us and USA and this and that and MAGA this and blah, blah, blah. It's all garbage, man. It's a smoke screen, like I said before. It's garbage. And it's not because I'm so anti-American. Listen, man. Like I said before, grew up in a military family. I bled red, white, and blue, okay, for years and years and years. I served my country. I was in law enforcement. I did everything they told me to do. I put my butt on the line. I followed orders. I get it, okay? It's not that I'm anti-American. I'm anti-stupid. I'm anti-hypocrisy. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to have blood on my hands. What I saw last night, people didn't see the video, it's out there. I call it murder. I call it cowardice. Well, we didn't risk any American lives in this. Like I said, man, that's the risk you take when you want to be in law enforcement, when you join the military. And if you don't want to take the risk, then don't join the military and don't be in law enforcement. And don't try to take down the bad guys. It's always a risk. But like I said, in our warfare today, the way we conduct things today, operations today, we'll just blow them away. Guilty, innocent, doesn't matter. It's like, oh, what do you mean? They were this and they were that. Okay. Well, hopefully some evidence and some proof will come out on that. Because the way I see it, it's like, it seems to me 11 people just got blown to smithereens and, sent to eternity, Didn't even know what hit them. And I guess that's righteousness. That's morality. Not the way I see it. And I tell you, when I was texting with my friend this morning, and we got done with our texting, this is what I heard in my spirit. Prepare, son. Prepare. I know what that's referring to. It's kind of a personal, private matter, but I think it's good advice for everybody. Prepare, son. Prepare. Prepare, daughter. Prepare. I hope people are preparing for the things that are about to happen and the things that are going to come upon this earth. I hope people are preparing because now's your time. Now is the time. I mean, everybody has their timelines and their dates for this and that and everything else. I would say now is the time to prepare. Prepare your heart. Prepare. Because seems to me we're here now. And like my friend John said, and he posted, or he sent me that email and he called it First Blood. I really started thinking about that. It's like, yeah, we drew first blood. And of course my mind went to the movie starring Sylvester Stallone, the 1982 movie, the first Rambo movie, First Blood. And I'm sure people have seen that movie at least once or more, whatever times. But man, the end of that movie is just absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, the beginning is just like, dude's just trying to find his friend, And then he gets harassed because of how he looks and what he's wearing and this and that, Kind of sound familiar? Can't even go into a town, get something to eat, stay somewhere. People won't even welcome you in the town. Nope, they just automatically assume you're a vagrant. They automatically assume you're scum. They treat you like that. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to let people treat me like that. And yeah, they did draw first blood. They started it, he finished it. But at the end of the movie, man, it's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Whether people think of Sylvester Stallone as acting ability or whatever else, people made fun of the man for years. Whatever, that's whatever. I'm not for or against Sylvester Stallone. It's not about that. It's about the acting at the end of that movie. I mean, man, it just tears me up every time I see it. Because if you really listen to his words and you really listen to the man, he's completely broken down. He just, the things he witnessed, the things he observed, the things he dealt with in the war. And, nobody seems to understand. Nobody cares. He's like, I can't even find a job parking cars where he was in charge of $1 million equipment, in the war. And, it's horrible, man. It's terrible. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't really understand all of that. But at the age I am now, I get it. I get it. It's just check out the end of the movie, man, where he just breaks down. Just absolutely breaks down. He's got nothing left. Just breaks down. And like I said, all he was doing was looking for his friend. He found out his friend's dead. He's like, man, what do I do? Where do I go? Looking for a little love, compassion. And all he finds is, instead of the spirit of the law, he finds the letter of the law. And all they want to do is just make his life more miserable than it already is. Kind of sound familiar? People can, they can, I don't know. They can support ICE thuggery and they can support martial law and they can support this and they can support that. You're basically supporting your own demise. You're basically cheering on your own demise. That's how dumb people are now. They don't understand freedom. They don't understand the Constitution. They don't understand their rights. It's like Ben Franklin said, and I know he was scum. I get it. I understand. Most of our founding fathers were scum. I get it. I've researched it thoroughly. But this is a good saying. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember it exactly. But something to the effect of those that are willing to give up a little security for safety. I said I'm butchering it, but you'll get the gist of it. okay, will receive neither. So basically, if you're willing to give up your safety for security or what have you, you know, your way of life, your comfortability in your life or whatever, to be more secure, trusting your government, trusting people that you think will protect you. If you're willing to give that up to feel more secure, you're willing to give up your rights, your freedom to feel more secure, then you'll receive neither. That's what it was. Something about liberty. Those that are willing to give up a little freedom or liberty, you know, for a little security or safety, will receive neither. That's pretty much what it was. It's early. I butchered it. But you can look up the quote for yourself if you want to, if it's that important to you. That's the bottom line, you know. That's the bottom line right there. You know, so the people are willing to compromise and give up their rights, give up their freedom, give up their liberty so they can feel a little more secure, a little more safe. You'll receive neither. What you'll get is tyranny, which is basically what we're on the verge of. So, like I said, people can cheer this thing on. USA, USA, hey, we're going to war here, we're going to war there, we're going to kick butt here, we're going to kick butt there. Nah, I think we're going to get our butts kicked. That's what's going to happen. But, hey, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes down, but I wouldn't be so quick to cheer, you know, the demise and the destruction of others, you know, just so we can wave our flag. Don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap, because we did draw first blood. And when someone draws first blood, expect retaliation. So, anyway, y'all have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.